world's greatest vlogger. I want you to know that. Every time I go vlogging, I've got one job to do, which is vlog, which is film myself. I have just walked for the last 15 minutes around this estate, telling you what's going on in my life, and I hadn't pushed record. So, I'm going to give you an update. I'm going to keep it brief now. The last one was very long. I'll keep it as brief as I can. It's April the 8th today. The visa Amnesty extension ended at the end of March, and we've had no notice that it's going to extend any further. Hey boss, how are you? Good. You want to be on?
You set me for YouTube.
For YouTube. Put a camera with him, he can ride with the camera around.
Yeah.
So these are the bosses, people you don't want to mess with. Men in uniform. Right, so April the 8th today. The amnesty for visa overstays ended on the end of March, and from that there was then I think 14 working days, which effectively means we have 12 days before we've got to get out of the country. We were all hoping that as the CMCO, or the lockdown, had been extended to June 9th, that we would get an extension. You know, we're all accepting the fact we have to leave Malaysia at some stage, but we're hoping that it's at a stage when your options aren't the devil in the deep blue sea. The fact is, Malaysia has handled COVID very well, and has always been way down there on the list, whereas all the countries we can go to handled it badly. So here's our options at the moment as we see them. UK, not fully open, and we have to go into a 14-day quarantine. It's going to cost us, and it's going to be miserable. And once we get out of the quarantine, as far as we understand, you can't do anything. Because the plan was we'd go to UK, hire a car, drive around and visit family, friends, do some business stuff, just because it might be the last time we ever go back to the UK. Say goodbye to everybody and say hello, and you know, just have a good old time. But if we're going to be there and we can't go anywhere, then you know, I don't want to sit in my mum's home for an unspecified amount of time until Brunei or Philippines or Thailand or Malaysia reopen. So we thought Mexico, my wife's not very keen on the idea, and I understand because way too many issues, plus we'd be looking at well over £2,500 just for flights. It's miserable. So the problem, you've got no choices at the moment. And so we're kind of thinking Albania, which is Eastern Europe, but it looks rather beautiful. Effectively, it's like just across the water from Italy, so I think Italy, but slightly not. Nice beaches. I think the weather looks fairly decent. There are castles and mountains and all sorts of stuff, so could be interesting. But we don't really know what the situation is for going in there. Online, I'm on a website called I think it's called canifly.net, I think. If it's not, I'll maybe put it up here. And with that you can put what your passport is, where your origination is, and where your destination is. And I can do that. And if I put a destination everywhere, it tells me that there's 68 countries that we can fly to from here with our English passport that we can go into. However, some require PCR tests, some require other things, some require quarantine, blah, 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 blah. So there's lots and lots of issues for all of these countries. Most of the ones on that list that we can go to are like Caribbean islands with either high prices or high COVID. Although absolute shitholes, frankly. Countries I don't really want to visit at the best of times. And then there's what I think is called British India overseas, no, British, I don't know, some British India thing, but I looked on a map and it's just this tiny little island in the Indian Ocean, and tiny. So I don't think, first of all, there'll be any flights there, and secondly, I don't think we'd want to get trapped on what looks like one of the islands with 18 hectares. I've had bigger gardens there, I'm sure. So, you know, we really are scraping a barrel as to where we can go, and that's the thing. If Malaysia could just extend, I mean, because basically, you know, on April 21st, all those people that are here like us are going to walk out the country, taking their spending with them, and at a time when obviously people spending money in your country is a good thing. But there you go. Apparently, getting foreigners out is more important than local cash. I don't know. Keeping businesses going. So, there we go. Anyway, I'm done. So we're done. Miserable walk, I didn't get to listen to any music, and I'm stressed and stressed and stressed. There we go.